Shelton and Gwen Stefani got married during an intimate ceremony, but also the house that they have now looks absolutely amazing. So let's get into this because I thought it looked super cool. So there's no doubt that this time that Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton have tied the knot. The couple officially got hitched on Saturday, less than a month after the No Doubt singer sparked wedding rumors by wearing a diamond band on her left hand. The ceremony took place at Shelton's Oklahoma ranch, where sources previously said he built a chapel with the intention of marrying Stefani there. Which, that's pretty cool, right? Like, I mean, imagine if you got, like, so much money that, like, your property is just that amazing that you can just get married there, and it's basically like a dream, like, wedding ceremony, right? Like, that'd be pretty cool. It'd be cool to get your money right to that point to where you could do something like that. Which, by the way, if you need help getting your money right, go down below and learn the secret to mastering your money. By the way, this is super cool. Right? So the couple had their nuptials, and a small intimate ceremony, nuptials, in a small intimate ceremony at a church built on the estates. That looks so cool. Gwen's parents, Dennis Stefani and Patty Flynn, guests and musicians are seen boarding a luxury bus to take them to Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani's Oklahoma wedding. Like, imagine that. That's like the driveway, right? You see that? It's like the driveway all the way there. I wonder how massive the property actually is, right? That looks so sick. So Blake Shelton had a new home built for him and his wife, Gwen Stefani. Like, that is a legit place, right? That is basically a mansion in the middle of, like, a massive, like, farmland almost. Like, that is so cool. Like, that is, like, an ideal house. Right? Like, that is super cool looking. Jesus. Now, I kind of wonder what the property taxes are in, like, Oklahoma and all that kind of stuff, right? Or the state taxes and all that. I'm guessing it's probably not that bad, but that looks pretty sick, right? Like, that is, like, probably, like, a dream place for a lot of people, right? So Stefani, 51, and Shelton, 45, began dating in 2015 after meeting as coaches on NBC's The Voice. This might be the only thing good that actually happened from The Voice, because here's the thing. Is there anyone from The Voice that is, like, big now? And I'm asking this seriously. If anyone knows this, like, if anyone ends up stumbling upon this episode or all that kind of stuff, feel free to, like, leave a comment or, like, share this with someone who might know. But I don't think there's anyone from The Voice that's, like, gotten super massive, right? Like, I don't think there's ever been, like, a superstar that came from The Voice, which is interesting when you really think about it, because isn't it a type of show where they're getting, like, coached by, like, superstars? So it's pretty interesting. So at the time, the rocker and country superstar were both newly divorced. So in July 2015, Shelton filed for divorce from Miranda Lambert, his second wife, and then after 4 years of marriage. And then, just weeks later, Stefani and Gavin Rossdale shocked fans by calling it quits after 13 years of marriage and 3 children. Now, here's the thing, right? Like, this whole situation, right, if this is actually true, you could kind of, like, read between the lines and be like, did these two, like, have an affair and basically hit it off so well? They're like, you know what? We can't do this to our partners. We got to call it quits because we are going to be together 100%, right? See, this is the thing. Like, I could kind of see this happen, like some, like, sort of, like, hidden secret, like, fling or something. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? No, let's do this right. Let's not pull our partners along with this whole thing. Let's take this seriously and end up, seeing each other for real. So Stefani and Shelton first sparked marriage rumors last month when the No Doubt singer stepped out with a wedding band on her left hand. And then the longtime couple first got together 6 years ago. So since getting together, the musicians have collaborated on a few love-struck songs, including Nobody But You, happy anywhere, and you make it feel like Christmas. So the couple announced their engagement in October 2020, and Shelton quietly proposed to the rich girl singer with a huge 6 to 9 carat round solitaire diamond set on what appeared to be a platinum band. Earlier this week, reports surfaced that the pair would soon be hearing wedding bells after they applied for a marriage license in Oklahoma. Nice looking present. Luxury bus. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought that was just pretty interesting and honestly kind of cool. I wonder what the property taxes are in Oklahoma. I wonder just the taxes general in that state are. It'd be kind of interesting to find out. Because the thing is, like, having a property like this is like cool and stuff. And like, here's the thing too, right? Having like a property like this, like I said, would it be super awesome, right? Like, this is like a super awesome kind of like house. That being said, do you want to deal with the hassle? Do you want to have like basically employees managing your property? Because I'm pretty certain this is basically like a legit like farmland area, right? I mean, like, look at that. Like, this thing's like absolutely massive. So, who knows how much time and money it actually costs to like manage this property? I don't know. It seems for the most part it's just really just cutting the grass. So, maybe a few $1,000s per month cutting the grass. But I don't know. I don't know how massive this property actually is. And again, this is a thing that you end up seeing with like those like mega mansions that you see, right? Yeah, it'd be super cool to like live in a property that costs like $20-50 million, right? Like, that'd be super cool. But the running costs per month of a property like that, or even like this, would probably make you cry, right? You'd probably need a few employees to make sure that it's running smoothly. The property taxes that you're probably going to be paying are disgusting, right? The house insurance or property insurance is going to be disgusting. If you get a mortgage on it, that's going to be disgusting, right? Like, it's going to get to the point where like, okay, like, how much time are you actually going to be able to spend at your house? So this is something that like a lot of people need to think about too, because like, unless you have so much money to basically where you could buy something like this and literally not care at all, it'd probably be a better idea to not buy something like this. Because like, is it worth your time? Is it worth your money? Is it worth it hiring employees to manage your household? Is it worth it dealing with the property taxes, the insurance, the liability that it actually is at some point? Because like, let's say that someone finds their way onto your property and it's like deca million type of property, and they just like break their ankle on your property somehow and basically try to sue you or something. Depending on your state, it's going to be super weird. So even though this looks super cool, and honestly they probably have the money to not really care about this, at the same time, for the average person, it may not be something worthwhile, right? Like, and like, let's just like put this in terms of like a normal person. Let's say someone's making like, not really normal, but let's say that, someone's making like $100,000 after taxes per year, right? It wouldn't be that hard to, be able to apply for like a mortgage of like $1 million house, right? Like, that wouldn't be too hard. That being said, is it worth the hassle to deal with $1 million house compared to, let's say, a house that might only be like 200,000, like something that's only like double your income? Because the thing is, people need to understand that, yeah, it's cool making a lot of money. It's cool having a lot of money. But if your costs are so high to the point where you no longer really have freedom, does it even make sense to get involved into something like this massive of a house, right? Like, let's just say that you won the lottery, right? And you won the lottery for like, let's say 20 million, right? So you could buy like a $10 million property, right? But the running costs, the hassles of it, like it's just gonna like, tear you in so many different, like pull you in so many different directions. You're like, is this even worth it? Or like, am I even going to be able to like live a decent life? And this is kind of like that hedonic treadmill that people end up getting, where like they're constantly trying to strive for something bigger and better and more expensive, pricier, all that kind of stuff. And the problem with that is that it just never stops, right? Like there's no contentment. Whereas let's say that you were to get to the point where, you make $1 million per year, or let's just say go back to the $100,000 per year. Let's say you make $100,000 per year and you just buy like a $200,000 house, right? That means you have the freedom to go on like different travels. You have the freedom to not have to deal with like an employee that will like manage your yard and all this other kind of stuff, right? You have the freedom to go on trips. You have the freedom to do Airbnbs all across the country. Like you have the freedom to basically buy whatever car you want. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. But if you were to get into like too much of a house to where you have to manage it like a business, you lose all that freedom, right? So that's something to really think about. Just because you make more money doesn't mean you should be spending more money. So just keep that in mind, because yeah, it'd be pretty cool to have a house like this, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily right, Just keep in mind, Do you want freedom or do you not want freedom?